हमारे देश में आज की तारीख में हर साल 10 से 12 लाख कैंसर के पेशेंट लोगों को कैंसर डायग्नोस होता है.
You know, a doctor has about 4 minutes to talk to somebody, or maybe 3 minutes, or if you are in luck, then maybe 7 minutes or 10 minutes. But what can you gauge about an individual in 3 minutes or in 4 minutes?
I would see thousands of people going through a similar journey as mine without any of the resources that I had. I thought that I really need to do something which will bring this hope of life back into their lives.
मुझे इस तरह से किसी ने नहीं समझाया था.
सिर्फ इस प्रॉब्लम से बाहर निकलने के लिए नहीं, जो मुझे होल लाइफ मुझे सपोर्ट करेगा, वो कुछ उन्होंने मुझे दे दिया. थैंक यू सो मच संजीवनी.
देखभाल या जितना ख्याल यहाँ रखा जाता है शायद ही कहीं होगा. एनजीओ बहुत हैं, बहुत बने हुए हैं, लेकिन ये जो संजीवनी जो एनजीओ है ये वास्तव में एक नया जीवन देने वाला है.
मेरे लिए तो सच्ची में बहुत रामबाण है, बिल्कुल संजीवनी की तरह मेरे को तो लग रहा है. बिल्कुल
So this was all about our organization, the video. But before starting moving to the main program, I just want to give a brief about our organization. So Sanjeevani Life Beyond Cancer was founded by a senior bureaucrat, and she is posted in Mumbai. So apart from she being a senior bureaucrat, she is also an author, a painter, a TEDx speaker, a life coach, and most importantly, she is a cancer victor and the founder of the non-profit organization Sanjeevani Life Beyond Cancer, a pioneer in comprehensive cancer care. So under the wing of Sanjeevani, we have 4 main flagship programs. So we not only deal with cancer patients, but also life before cancer, life during cancer, and life after cancer. So the first program that we do is Cancer Yogi. So Cancer Yogi is a hand-holding and a counseling initiative where we provide lots of help to the cancer patient inside the hospital, like from where they will get free financial schemes, from where they will get free food, free lodging, free traveling, how to interact with the doctor, what are the side effects of the treatment. We used to provide knowledge about all these things. And also the next program that we do is Satori, because cancer is not only a disease of your physical self, but it has more to deal with a mental being. So for that, we have to first understand that it is very important to throw the fear out of our mind, and most of the people have that fear of reoccurrence, and they think that even if I'm recovered now, it will again happen to me. So as a result, it might happen because due to the negative emotions they are inbuilding in themselves. So our next program is like that, and we provide various psychosocial support to the cancer patient, where different nutritionists, psychotherapists, EFT, sound healing, dance movement therapy. So different therapies are given to the cancer patients, and different oncologists also come. And if they have any queries, they can directly ask in the program itself. So in this context, I just want to say that if you know any cancer patient, who needs our help, please feel free to contact us at our helpline number, that is 8691000800 or 8691000801. The third program is CanSarthi. It is a skill development and it is a rehabilitation course. So after doing this course is basically for the patients, their attendant, and also this course is for the people whose family, someone in family has been touched with cancer. Okay, so basically everyone can do this course, and after doing this course they can become a certified caregiver, because we will provide them a certificate based on the certified oncology caregiving, and then they can work in different hospital sectors, NGO, home care agencies. And the next program that we have is Can Chetna, where we provide awareness on cancer prevention, healthy lifestyle, women-centric cancers, role of social work in the field of like oncology. So we have different programs based on that. So if you want to know more about our organization, please feel free to visit our official website page, that is www.sanjeevanilifebeyondcancer.com. And we also have 2 YouTube channels. If you are conscious about your health, you want to prevent this disease, you can follow our channel, and it is in the name of the organization Sanjeevani Life Beyond Cancer, and also in the name of the founder Ruby Aluwal. So now moving to the main part of the program is a presentation on cancer, how to prevent the disease. So basically when we talk about cancer, like nobody has come to us and explained us in a simple terms. Whereas when we talk about COVID, we are much more concerned, or much more we are aware about it, because people has come and explained to us in such a simple terms that it has become easy for all of us to understand it, right? So same thing we are also trying regarding this disease, because it is the second leading cause of death globally. So first, Sanjeevani Life Beyond Cancer not only deal with underprivileged cancer patients, but we also deal with all category of cancer patients. So our head office is in Mumbai. In Mumbai, we are working in Tata Memorial Institute. Apart from that, we are working in Wardha, Jaipur, Kolkata, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Delhi, Surat, Guwahati, Goa, Pondicherry, Bikaner, Rishikesh, Nagpur, and also we have started our branch in Visakhapatnam and Hyderabad as well. And in the upcoming 6 months, we are also planning to establish our branch in Kerala and Tamil Nadu as well. So today we are going to discuss about 3 aspects of cancer awareness. First is how to reduce the probability of getting cancer. So basically, how can you protect yourself from being a victim of this disease? Secondly, early detection, how you will understand that your body is sending you some signals. Because cancer is not a disease that will happen to you in a day, it grows over years in your body. And the last one is make a substantial difference in a person's life diagnosed with cancer. So basically how to deal with a cancer patient, we will discuss about that. But before preventing the disease, it is very, very important for us to understand what is the disease, what is the root cause of the disease, okay? So cancer is the growth of irregular abnormal cells anywhere in our body. So we all know that our entire human body is made up of cells, and cancer is exactly a disease that happens in the DNA of our cell. So first thing we have to understand that when the cells used to die, because they do not have anything productive to do in our body, so generally when they die, they just settle down in our body. They do not harm our body. But there are 3 leading factors of cancer. If we follow that, our old cells might grow. As they do not do anything productive, they will harm our body, which means there will be like formation of tumors or lumps in our body, or like they might invade all our good cells and might turn them into cancer cells. Okay. So there are three main leading factors of cancer. First is increase of toxicity, when your body becomes too much of acidic. Second is low immune system. So we have heard a lot about immunity, right, during this COVID. And it is a fact because immune system help us to defend various diseases in our body. Be it fever, be it a normal disease, be it something very deadly disease, but then immune system play the very important role. So it is very important to boost your immune system. And the third is unhealthy lifestyle. If you're not eating properly on time, not sleeping properly on time, if you are engaged in any sorts of tobacco related substances, then you might be at a high risk factor of cancer. So moving forward, as there are three leading factors of cancer, there are three factors that boost our immune system. So immune system, as I said, it acts as a defense mechanism, and there is no such medicines or injections that can prevent us from this disease, right? So it is very important to boost your immune system. So how you will boost your immune system? First is you have to work on the thought process. So thought process is how positive or how negative you are about things in your life. So most of our just give me 1 minute. Okay, so secondly, when I was talking about thought process is how positive or how negative you are about things in your life. So most of our emotions are always negative. We are complaining more often, we are sad more often, we are depressed more often, and as a result, what happened? Our body used to release lots of negative hormones in our body. Okay, so it is very important to always think positive in life. So whenever you think positive, it helps you to release lots of positive hormones in your body. So why there is negative emotions in our body? Because there are two main reasons. One is we expect a lot from people, and secondly, we are always in the giving, taking mode. So you have to be always in the mode of giving. When you are in the mode of giving, then you will be always satisfied. You will be always content. And also try to understand every situation has a positive and a negative aspect. So try to always extract the positivity out of it. No matter how worse the situation is, try to bring out positivity out of everything and turn adversities into opportunities. Next is nutrition. Nutrition is what are you eating, at what time are you eating, and with what intent are you eating. That is very important. So when you're starting your day, try to start your day with 2 glasses of warm water every day. Until 4 o'clock in the evening, drink as much of water as you can, and after 4 o'clock you should generally limit the use of drinking water because it might affect your sleep as well. Secondly, try to include 60% of raw and colorful fruits and vegetables in your meal. That is very essential because fruits and vegetables help in faster digestion, it boosts up your immune system, and it makes your body alkaline. Okay. And also you can divide your meals as 2 times you can always go for raw food, 2 times you can always go for cooked food. So the right time to eat fruits is always in your breakfast, that is in the morning, and always go for light fruits. You don't need to buy very expensive fruits. You can just go for normal fruits that you get in your local areas. You can go for those fruits. Citrus fruit, you should always have it after your breakfast. The next is try to include a plate of raw salad in your meal. That is very essential. So don't eat salad with your meal. So when you go in a restaurant, when you get a plate of salad before your meal, so what we do, we will eat 1 spoon of rice and then we will eat 1 piece of salad. So that is a wrong pattern of eating. Before eating your rice or whatever your meal is, try to eat that plate of raw salad. That is very essential. Try to include lots of nuts, and lots of dry fruits in your meal. Sprouts, you can go for things like that. It is very essential. And whenever you are like eating, do not divert your mind, because if you do not respect your food or you do not love your food is never going to love you back, which means you are not going to get the essential nutrition from your food, whatever you are eating. So that is very, very essential to understand. So whenever you eat, do not indulge yourself in any sorts of conversation. Next is breathing. Breathing is a very natural pattern, and we don't care for breathing. And whenever we are not breathing, then not breathing properly, then the lower organs of our body do not get the proper oxygen. And it is very, very essential to always get proper oxygen. Okay, because it makes your body alkaline. So why am I talking about fruits, vegetable, and oxygen? Because these three things contain alkaline. As in a toxic body, you might get cancer, but in an alkaline body, it will help you to prevent cancer. And secondly, try to at least dedicate 2 hours in a day for deep breathing. That is very, very essential. And whenever you're breathing in, try to sit straight, keep your backbone straight, and try to inhale the oxygen. And when you're inhaling, your stomach should always get outside, and when you're exhaling, your stomach should come in the normal position. That is the right pattern of breathing. So as I have already mentioned about the founder of our organization, so people think that if you're in 3rd, 4th stage, you are never going to survive. So that is a very, very wrong concept in the mind of people. Our founder is a 3rd stage cancer survivor. She has survived that phase. She started working on her immunity, and today she is all fit and fine. So she has shared few immunity videos with all of you. So I'm sharing that videos with all.
These days there is a lot of emphasis as to what kind of food we are eating, whether it is healthy, it is not healthy, it is organic, it is not organic, what time are we eating it, then we are talking of superfoods these days. Here I want to put a little more emphasis on this, that we get our energy not merely by the food that we eat, but the food that we digest. Now, if what is the most important thing is how our food is getting digested, then we need to understand as to what are those factors I need to take care of, which will keep my body environment in a state that my digestive system works well, and the food that I eat gets properly digested, processed, absorbed in my system. So one of the foremost things is that I need to keep my gut clean. To keep my gut clean, I need to give it proper, nice rest for 14 to 15 hours. During the day, we should have food, of course, which is healthy, which is light, which is not too greasy, because that is the food which gets digested. The third thing is that when we feel hungry, then there is a belly fire which is there, which helps the secretion of the important juices which will help us digest the food. So this fire needs to be kept on. What happens at times is that when we have water during our meal times, or if we have very cold water just before the food time, or if we have water just after finishing our food, then this fire goes off, which makes it difficult for our food to get digested. So we need to take care that when we sit down to eat, we do not have any water during our meal times and for at least half an hour to 45 minutes after the meal time. The other thing which is very important is that when we are eating, what kind of mental state we are in. Because when we eat in a state of anxiety, stress, anger, tension, then what happens is that all these negative emotions, they basically are generated out of that basic emotion of fear. And when body recognizes fear, it declares a state of emergency inside, and it starts preparing itself to deal with this emergency. Therefore, whatever food we may eat with this kind of mental state will get rotten and it will turn into acid instead of the nutrients being released and absorbed in the body. So when we sit down to eat, if we sit down in a happy and a peaceful state, then the digestive juices are adequately released, the food is properly churned, the food is properly chewed, and the food is then properly digested and absorbed in the system. This is very important. These days there is
तो आप लोगों ने आजकल नोटिस किया होगा कि कैंसर बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ता जा रहा है. एक समय ऐसा होता था दैट वी यूज्ड टू सी द कैंसर केसेस ओनली इन फिल्म्स, बट टुडे आप लोग जितने लोग यहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं उनमें से सभी ने कैंसर को किसी ना किसी तरह से एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा, या तो आपके कोई रिलेटिव, आपके कोई फ्रेंड, आपके कोई जानने वाले, या प्रॉबेबली इन योर इमीडिएट फैमिली. तो इतना ज़्यादा जब कैंसर बढ़ रहा है तो इसका ये समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि इसके रीजंस क्या हैं और हमको किस तरह से अपनी केयर लेनी है ताकि हम इसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी अपने लिए और अपने डियर वंस के लिए वी कैन रिड्यूस. और अनदर थिंग यू मस्ट बी वंडरिंग इज कि ये कॉन्सेप्ट मैं क्यों इंट्रोड्यूस कर रही हूँ आपको. So the reason is that मैंने पर्सनली कैंसर के एक्सपीरियंस को अपने आप फील किया है, उसकी जर्नी को कवर किया है, एंड this journey which was there for me was as painful as it is supposed to be, but during this journey there was also a lot of self growth which happened, because I tried and I made that effort to look inside and understand as to what is happening in my body to bring me to this kind of a state that where my own body cells have started revolting against me. So when our thought process is restrictive or when our perception is negative, then it is stored in a similar manner in our brain. और हर समय जब वैसा ही कोई एक्सपीरियंस हमारी लाइफ में आता है तो हम उसी तरह का रेस्ट्रिक्टिव या नेगेटिव जो हमारा थॉट प्रोसेस स्टोर हुआ था हम उसको दोबारा से यूज करते हैं टू डील विद दैट एक्सपीरियंस. ये जो चीज़ है ये हमारे शरीर के अंदर छोटी छोटी नॉट्स बना देती है, और जब छोटी छोटी नॉट्स बनाती है तो हमारा जो एनर्जी फ्लो है ऑफ द बॉडी दैट गेट्स इम्पैक्टेड, और उसकी वजह से हमारे जो फंक्शनिंग है ऑफ द बॉडी दैट डज नॉट रिमेन ऑप्टिमम एंड वी कैन अट्रैक्ट अ लॉट ऑफ डिजीजेस. Most of the chronic diseases happen because of this reason, and cancer is one of them. I will give you a very small example. I hope कि आप सबने वो फील किया होगा so that you get it right. जब हम लोग बहुत परेशान होते हैं या बहुत ज़्यादा दुखी होते हैं और हमको कोई खाना खाने के लिए बोलता है तो हमको अपने यहाँ पे गले के अंदर फील होती है जैसे एक लंप जैसा है, और कोई बहुत फोर्स करता है तो हम कहते हैं कि नहीं अभी हमें खाना मत दो क्योंकि मैं बिल्कुल नहीं खा पाऊंगी. या you felt that lump when you are very sad and when you are very depressed and somebody wants to force food inside you. So now what is happening is that since you are feeling sad, आपका जो ब्रेन है बॉडी को ये सिग्नल देता है that it is not in a state to digest the food. सो दैट सिग्नल इज हियर इम्पैक्ट करता है. तो हम जब उस स्टेट में खाना खाते रहते हैं अपनी रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में, इन दैट स्टेट ऑफ एंजाइटी, तो दैट फूड डज नॉट गेट डाइजेस्टेड प्रॉपर्ली. And when it does not get digested properly, it becomes acid in the body, which we call toxicity. And this toxicity is the reason for most of the chronic diseases which happen in the body. So this is just one very small example I gave you कि anxiety या गुस्सा या परेशानी होने से हम अपने शरीर को कितने physical way में impact करते हैं. और आजकल की जो जिंदगी है, it is basically rotating around these negative emotions of anger, of anxiety, of guilt, of shame, of sadness all the time. So we keep our system in a state that it is, the organs inside it are not able to function optimally. तो PNI जो therapy है, it basically helps a person to open these knots so that our mind is able to think positively and perceive incidents in a way which is good for our body. तो जब वो knots खुल जाती हैं तो उसके बाद आपका energy flow ठीक हो जाता है and we are able to get rid of these diseases.
So now we will discuss about early diagnosis, like how we will understand that our body is sending us some signals. So basically we have termed it as caution, which means we have to be continuously cautious about whatever is going on in our body. So first, if you observe any kind of change in your bowel or bladder habit, for example, like there is some kind of bleeding or some kind of discharge, or let's say if your stool movement is becoming very thin, if it is very paining, there is some kind of burning sensation and it is continuous, then you have to understand that like you have to continuously work on that, otherwise you might be at a high risk factor. So if you observe these symptoms, immediately rush to doctor. Do not wait for 1 month that okay, let's see, for 1 month we will go in the other month. So don't do that. Any abnormal signs you are getting, immediately go for a checkup. You never know, might be nothing has happened to you, so maybe it can be cured with a simple tablet or maybe a simple injection. So try to like love your body. Next is a sore can be there in and around your mouth. So if you are a regular consumer of tobacco related substances, gutka, pan masala, tobacco itself, betel nut, then you might be at a high risk factor of oral cancer, because when we talk about sore might be due to a deficiency of vitamins in your body, and that is naturally healed. But when you are taking things like tobacco, pan masala and all, then what happens when you get a sore, it increases day by day and it becomes very painful, and there will be skin pelation, there will be color change, and as a result what will happen, you might get a hole on your face, or like you might get a tumor or lump on your face. The next is unusual bleeding or discharge. So unusual bleeding or discharge can be from anywhere of your body. It can be let's say from your like bowel or bladder habit. It can be from your mouth, like if you're coughing and blood might come out from your blood due to like maybe you have coughed very roughly, or maybe there might be some symptom of lung or oral cancer, or maybe there will be some kind of bleeding from the nipple of your breast. So whenever we talk about nipple and breast, we have to understand that this is a symptom of breast cancer. So breast cancer might happen to male and female both. It is not only associated to females. Next thing is, if you observe that there is any kind of thickening or lump in the breast or elsewhere. So if you observe that there is a lump in your body, so how you will observe that there is a lump? So there is a cells screening test that you all should always do is girls once in a month and boys can do at around first day of every month or last day of every month. For girls, you can do it after 2 days of your periods. So use these 3 fingers whenever you go to take bath on that particular day. Apply a bit more of soap and shower gel in your body. Use this 3 finger and observe, is there any kind of lump or tumor on my hands, on my breast, or on my body, or anywhere? So these 3 fingers are very, very sensitive and they can feel most of the thing. So if you observe like this and if you see that yes, there is some kind of lump or tumor, immediately rush to doctor, because when we talk about tumors, there are 2 types of tumor. One is the malignant tumor and other one is the benign tumor. So malignant tumor is generally cancerous tumor which spreads rapidly in your body, and benign tumor is the non-cancerous tumor. So when you get a malignant tumor, doctor might ask you to undergo 3 treatments of cancer, that is chemotherapy, radiotherapy, as well as surgery. But if it is a benign tumor, doctor might ask you just take some medicines and some surgery, do a small surgery, it will be gone. But no matter is it a malignant or a benign tumor, whenever there is a tumor, throw it out of your body, because if it is a benign tumor, it might later on turn into cancerous tumor as well. Next is digestion play a very, very important role. So you have to understand that whenever you have indigestion problem, something somewhere has gone wrong, and that is the reason might be you have got indigestion problem. And whenever you have indigestion problem, you have to start changing your food habits, because if you do not change it, then it will be very risky for you, because you do not get energy from the quantity of food you are eating. You are going to get energy from the quantity of food you are digesting. So it is very, very important to digest your food properly. So whenever you have indigestion problem, and if it is very frequent, either you change your food habits or you should immediately seek medical attention. The next is obvious change in the water mole. So if you observe any kind of change in your mole, so mole is present in every human body, that red or the black dot we have got. So it is very common to have a mole, but if your mole is increasing day by day, if it is very painful, there is some kind of discharge, and if it is multiplying in number, then you have to understand that you might be at a high risk factor of skin cancer. Next is nagging cough or hoarseness. So when we talk about cough or when we talk about broken voice, it is very common. Once in a 6 months it might happen. Okay, so whenever there is something like that happening, then try to understand that it is okay to have cough and broken voice once in a 6 months. But then if it is very, very persistent, like you are taking all sorts of medicine, it is not going anywhere, then you have to understand that you might be at a high risk factor. The next point we will discuss is the risk factors of cancer. So whenever we talk about cancer, we know that tobacco use, using gutka, pan masala, alcohol, you all might be at a higher risk factor by consuming these substances, because 22% of the Indian population is affected only by consumption of these substances. So it is very, very important to avoid these substances. If you're taking these substances, why are you taking it? Why has it become so important that you need to take it? So you have to understand about that. And the next thing is you have to know about the consequences. What are the consequences of taking these substances? It might be if you take these substances, later on you might get various types of diseases, just as lung cancer, liver cancer, or stomach cancer, oral cancer, colon cancer, anywhere it might happen. So why to torture your body when these things are actually not necessary? The next is stress. So when we talk about stress, there are 2 types of stress. One is the eustress and other one is the distress. So eustress are generally good stress that keeps you motivated and encouraged to reach your goal. For example, promotion in your office, coming top in the class, cracking like competitive exams. So this might be some kind of good stress, because at that time also you will have lots of stress. This stress will always encourage you. But there are distress, that is anger, anxiety, depression, jealousy. So these kind of stress are very negative, and that can make your body toxic. So when we talk about distress, try to stay away from stress. Whenever there is any kind of stress, try to divert your mind by doing your favorite hobby. Maybe singing, dancing, painting, or maybe gardening, cooking, anything you like, just divert your mind. Make sure that this is my body. I will not allow to release any negative hormones in my body. Because if I'm angry on someone, it is the other person we are angry on. So why are we harming our body? If we're jealous about someone, why are we not making ourselves a better version? Why are we jealous about that person and we are releasing negative hormones? Instead, if you are jealous about someone, try to understand that why are you jealous about that person. Try to make yourself better. That will help, and that will make you to help you to develop or improve yourself. Next is obesity or being overweight. So when we talk about fats in our body, we all know that fats mean inviting lots of diseases in our body. So it is very, very essential to try to maintain a healthy weight. So how you will maintain a healthy weight? So it is very important. So try to always follow a BMI. That is, every body have a body mass index. So BMI tells that according to your height and according to your age, you have to maintain a healthy weight. Okay, so that is very, very essential. So try to maintain the BMI. If you don't know about it, you can go and visit the nearest medical store. You can check your BMI there. The next is unhealthy diet with low fruits and vegetable. I have already explained the importance of fruits and vegetable. It helps in faster digestion. It makes your body alkaline, and it detoxifies all the toxins from your body. But then people are there who love unhealthy food, junk food, outside food, street food. So it is okay to love junk food. So once in a month, you can always go for junk food, but make sure rest of the days you will detoxify your body with lots of fruits, vegetable, and water. The next is inadequate physical activity. So cardiovascular disease is the first leading cause of death, and cancer is the second leading cause of death, and we are aware about that, right? So cancer is the second leading. So to prevent these two diseases, it is very important to do exercise regularly. So you don't need to go and pay money on gym and go to Zumba or yoga classes. It is fine if you don't want to go there. Be at home, do home workouts. You have lots of YouTube, do simple exercises that will help. Or also you can go for a walk after your dinner or after your lunch. That also helps. The next, when you do physical activity, there is smooth functioning of your heart, smooth circulation of blood in your body, and smooth flow of oxygen. Next is lack of sleep. If you do not sleep properly on time, then also you might be at a high risk factor. But how to work on sleep, we will discuss about that. And next is, if you have any sorts of sexually transmitted diseases, then also you might be at a high risk factor because your immune system is already very weak. So I am playing a video on sleep now for all of you.
One of the very of tea or coffee necessarily, that cup of caffeine necessarily to kickstart my day? Or do I get up with that enthusiasm and happiness of a child? If I have been getting up in a state of grogginess as a pattern, I need to understand as to why it is happening. Sleep being such an important factor in my wellness, because that is the time when the body recoups, re-energizes. There are so many hormones which get released when we are sleeping. For example, the pituitary gland releases growth hormones, which are so important for our well-being. The cortisol, which is our stress hormone, the quantity of that reduces. The immunity system, it releases cytokines which fight inflammation. So sleep is a very important time of our life. So if we are not sleeping well, there could be three broad factors. One, we are not eating right. The second is that when we are approaching bedtime, we are approaching it with some issue opened in our life, some stress, some tension. The third is we have messed up our body clock for some reason. Like when we travel or when we travel abroad, we have a jet lag. So basically the body clock gets messed up. So about eating right, we must finish our dinner by 8 p.m. There has to be a gap of 3 hours between our dinner time and the bedtime. The other thing is we should be eating light. The food should be less on carbs and fats. Good dinner of rice and steamed vegetables or stir-fried vegetables, they work very well with a bowl of soup, just to give an example. The other is that we should be walking or doing some light exercise after our dinner. It could be dance, it could be just walking inside the house. The most important thing which is disturbing sleep of people these days is that we keep our laptops and our social media on in the night. So please take care that at least 1 hour before your bedtime you have switched off your social media and you are not working on your laptop.
So now we are going to discuss about the different forms of cancer. So as we all know that cancer is a disease that happens in the DNA of our cells. So there are various types of cancer, but there are top 5 cancers that affect the Indian population most. So the first is the breast cancer. Breast cancer might happen to male and female both. So if you see any kind of symptoms such as you have a lump or a tumor on your breast, or if there is some kind of discharge from the nipple of your breast, or if your nipple is being inverted inside and because generally our nipple is always facing outward direction. If it is being pulled inside, then you have to understand that you might be at a high risk factor of breast cancer. So if you get these symptoms, please immediately rush to doctor. The next is oral cancer. Whenever we talk about oral cancer, you have to understand. Okay, so when we talk about oral cancer might happen to male and female both. So if you consume any sorts of tobacco related substances, then you might be at a high risk factor. Secondly, if you consume too much of chilled or too much of hot liquids, then also you might be at a high risk factor. Next is cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is totally a women-centric cancer. Women who are above the age of 30 might be a victim of this disease. So first you have to understand that are you maintaining hygiene? Are you keeping your private parts clean? If you're not keeping your private parts clean, then also you might be at a high risk factor. If you married at a very early age and if you have a child by the age of 20, or let's say if you have involved in a sexual activity with multiple sexual partners, then also you might be at a high risk factor of cervical cancer. And women who faces vaginal discharge, which is very white, which is very foul in smell, there is lots of weight loss, then also you might be at a high risk factor. So try to understand that what is the reason. So when you face anything which is abnormal, please go and visit the doctor once. Next is gastric cancer. So gas is something all of us used to avoid. We do not take care of gas. We think, okay, we will take medicine and water and end of the story. But we don't go to the root cause, that why did it happen to me? Am I eating something wrong, or maybe eating something at the wrong time? Or maybe like I'm not eating anything, or I'm eating food that are harmful. So you have to understand these things. And then you can work on your gas problem. So if you don't care about your gas problem, it might get suppressed, and later on it might turn into gastric ulcer, and you might also get gastric cancer. And the last and the most dangerous form of cancer is the lung cancer. So lung cancer is mostly seen in the people who smoke. So if you are someone who smoke, so basically when we say that smokers, it is not only associated to the active smokers, it might be a passive smoker as well. So smokers are generally of two types. One who like the cigarette themselves, they will smoke, they will harm their own body. But the other one is who continuously sit in front of a person who is smoking, maybe a family member, maybe a sibling, maybe best friend, maybe a partner, anyone. So someone who lights cigarette in front of you, try to tell them to get out of the site immediately, or if that sounds rude, you just get out of get up and go away of the site, and then wait outside until 10 to 15 minutes, let the other person complete their whole thing, and then you come back. Otherwise you might be at a high risk factor of lung cancer. And secondly, if you are taking cigarette, then if you're planning for a family, that you will get married, you will have a child, then your child might be at a high risk factor of leukemia, that is blood cancer or brain cancer. Okay, so now moving forward, how to deal with a cancer patient. Here are some basic do's and don'ts when someone you know has cancer. So first, you should always let them know that you care for them. Do not sympathize with them, that is not at all needed. Secondly, you should always respect their decision about how their cancer will be treated, even if you disagree. So don't tell that why are you going to that hospital, or why are you going to meet that doctor. If you go and meet that doctor, you are not going to get recovered. So do not pass on comments like that, okay? The next is include the person is in usual work, projects, plans and social event. Try to include cancer patients in every work project, because cancer does not spread. It's not COVID, right? So it does not spread. So try to involve them. If you know, in fact, any cancer patient, try to invite them in your social events. They will be very happy and they will release lots of positive hormones. And also someone has asked that which cancer is most deadly. None of the cancers are deadly if you immediately start working on your body. Even if you get cancer, you can prevent it if you're eating the right thing, if you're thinking the right thing, and you are taking care of your body. So like generally people think that cancer is a deadly disease, but it is not. Only due to lack of awareness. The more knowledgeable you are about the disease, the more faster you can prevent this disease. Okay. The next is you can be an active listener when you are dealing with a cancer patient. They might not want any advice from you. They might just need a friend who will sit in front of them and they will share their journey with them. So that is very, very important. Try to be always an active listener. Then offer to help in a concrete or specific way. We can provide various helps to cancer patient. We can do lots of fundraising. We can donate blood to a cancer patient. So when you're donating blood, then you are taking care of your health, and people who donate blood in every 3 months become more healthy, because your old bloods are been taken out and your new blood cells are formed. Now there are some basic don'ts which is very, very compulsory to follow. Don't offer advice they don't ask for, or be judgmental. So never go and advise a cancer patient until and unless they don't approach you. Okay, you should never do that, because like you will go with very good thing that you want to advise or you want to help them, but while coming back you are going to give them such suggestion which is actually not required. You don't know at what mindset the cancer patients are, so try to always understand that does they need your advice, did they approach you? If they didn't, then your advice is of no value. Next is, don't assume that they can no longer do the job. So never think that a cancer patient cannot do their job, because thinking someone unproductive is really very wrong. It depends on the willpower. Okay, so it depends on how the patient is looking at the disease. The next is, don't be afraid to talk about the illness. Okay, so first when you talk about illness, you don't need to go and tell that you are in the last stage, you are in the third stage. That is not required to tell. What you can say is cancer is there, treatment is there. If you work towards your positive mental construct, your thought process and your breathing pattern, even if you get this disease, you can come out of it. Okay, so next is, don't tell a person with cancer, I can imagine how you must feel, because you really can't. So we cannot really feel that how a cancer patient is feeling, because we do not have that experience. So do not say that I can feel you. Instead, you can say, I will be there to help you to come out of this, or I am there for you. Don't be worried and all. You can encourage them, but don't go in that flow that I can feel you, I can understand your pain. That is a wrong statement in front of them. And the last and the most important thing is, don't go around a cancer patient if you're sick, if you have fever or any other sign of infection, which means if you have any kind of communicable disease, do not go and meet a cancer patient. Okay. And the food that we are eating these days is full of toxicity, but like development, where we think that development is other form of this disease, because the 5G that we are upcoming 5G that we are going to use, that is also equally harmful. So you have to understand that there are various like factors that might happen to you. Okay, but you have to understand what are the things you can eat. For example, microwave food is not at all harmful, not that much harmful. Frozen food is, yes, try to avoid packet food. As I has already said, try to avoid any kind of packet food, otherwise it will affect you. And like try to always go for natural things, like save some money, go for organic fruits and vegetable, go for nuts, go for lots of dry fruits. Try to avoid dairy products, because nowadays lots of injections are being pushed in a body of cow, and then they used to give milk, and then the dairy products are made. So the more population is including, the more food need is increasing, and that is the reason people like these things are happening. So it is a business everywhere. So we cannot say that everything will lead to cancer, but you should always go for natural and raw things. So we have to understand that. So for example, when we talk about frozen food, like what kind of a frozen food, like keeping like processed meat, eating processed meat, keeping processed meats in the packet and keeping it inside the food is, obviously it is harmful. But instead of that, you can eat something like a piece of chicken, or you can go for fresh fish. That is very helpful, that you can go for those things once in a week, but try to avoid packet food. Okay, so things which are not necessary, do not include that in your diet. That is just for the time being, but later on it might create, because the carcinogen is the main reason of cancer. So try to avoid those food which contain this, and try to always go for natural things. Now there are 32.6 million 5-year cancer survivors worldwide, which means cancer is not at all fatal if you work towards early diagnosis and its treatment. And it is a fact that like cancer does not mean that in the initial stage. So never think that if you have got this disease or if you have got this tumor, then you are going to die. It will never happen that way. Okay, so try to be always positive about the disease, because we have been working with this disease since last 8 years, and we understand that cancer does not mean death. Okay, now here is a very important quote. So instead of like talking much about it, it is very important how to prevent it, because until and unless we don't prevent, it will stay in our society. So how can we prevent it? So various youngsters can come up and they can become a change maker in this field. So when you become a change maker, you take care of your family, you take care of yourself, your society, and then like you can be able to eradicate this disease totally from the society. But because WHO tells that in the upcoming years, 1 out of every 10 individual will be diagnosed with cancer, and 1 out of every 15 individual will die out of cancer. So which means that one person can be anyone. It can be me, it can be you, it can be anyone. So it is very, very important to understand that, to how to prevent this disease, and try to always go natural. But whatever you eat or however you stay, it is very important to stay positive. If you're eating lots of dry fruits, lots of fruits, and in the other hand you're saying, I hate this girl, I am jealous about her, so nothing is going to work that way. You have to do everything positive. You have to be very optimistic in your life, because when you meet a negative people, they will release lots of negative energies, and energy is very important. You have to create lots of positive energies around you. So thank you so much everyone. I hope the session was useful to all of you.